The final trucks are hauling their last loads of cane down to Louisiana's sugar mills. More trucks than some farmers initially anticipated.
It looks like we're going to have an above average crop, which was not something we were expecting when we went into the crop in September. What really played into it, we're very fortunate. We farmed some exceptional ground.
It's a bit of a later cut than usual for the 3,500 acres of cane at St. Louis Farms in Plaquemine. Many stalks across Louisiana were still pretty short in the last months of 23, but an 11th hour quenching brought much needed growth to this season's crop. While he can breathe his sigh of relief now, Patrick Frischertz admits last summer came with a good bit of anxiety.
Yeah, Louisiana, summertime, it's 50% every day, 50% chance of rain. You could have 3 inches of rain or no rain for a couple days, and you can kind of rely on that. This year it was just very dry throughout, so I was constantly checking the radar.
With 2023's temperatures ranging 3 degrees above average and rainfall roughly half of what it should be, the state saw its 8th driest year in recorded history.
Overall, I think the Louisiana industry will be slightly below average, but in spots, you actually have a slightly above average crop.
St. Louis Farms sits right on the border of what Frischertz calls the haves and the have-nots. Just to his north, many were not as fortunate this season.
Let's go to Vermilion Parish, North Point Capee, Avoyelles, Rapides, St. Landry, Evangeline. I mean, that's where the drought was by far the worst. And those guys, you've got farmers on that side of the world, had their worst crop in their farming career. So when I say a tale of two crops, you've got people making their best crop and people making their worst crop in the same year.
Ken Gravois, sugarcane specialist with the LSU Ag Center, says dry weather makes for a good crop, but you've still got to have some rain. With the drought pushing back cutting, sugar mills also had to pivot.
We decided to move grinding back about 2 weeks to give it a chance to get some rain and to grow.
Being a 24/7 operation that's always in motion, pushing back a shutoff date like that isn't easy. But with much of the mill running off computers, Core Texas owner Buck Kessler says when they do have to pull the trigger, they can count on it being a smooth process, both for the mill and for farmers.
And we have about 40 different farmers right now. And we have a field person that she makes rounds every day. And so she talks to everybody at least once a week, if not more.
So, drought or not, the only precipitation that matters here is in their warehouse, where it's raining sugar. For This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Josh Meeks.
According to Frischertz, these brutal winter freezes also pose a threat to next year's crop. But if the ground can stay wet enough when it gets too cold, that may actually help protect the roots and stalks won't have to be replanted.